press box and tweet some more about the game because, we have stuff going on. I got work to do. It's my side thing. So I had to leave them be and go do that. But it was a good game. I think I saw more home runs in that one inning Wednesday than I've seen at every game I've been to this year.
Yeah, isn't a day game nice to, go to during the weekday?
I haven't been to a day game in a really long time because of my schedule and stuff.
Yeah.
And the last time I went, it was just a nightmare because there were so many people. Everyone that worked downtown would take half a day and go to the game, and you couldn't find anywhere to park. And this was nice. I don't know if it's because the Indians, are selling off all their assets right now and suck, or if it's just because of the pandemic and COVID or whatever it was. But I had no problem getting parking. I had no problem walking in, getting in, doing what I needed to do. There were no long lines at the bathroom or at the beer tents or any of that stuff. So, it was a good day. I highly recommend day games, even if they're getting rid of all their good players and poor Tito's out for the rest of the year. I still don't understand why Sandy Alomar Jr. isn't taking over as manager while he's out. I know you're going to feel some kind of way about that.
I don't feel some type of way, but before I get into that, I want to get back to those day games, the getaway day, because usually St. Louis was probably were coming off some series, so they do that getaway day. But the last time I went to a day game during the week to watch the Cleveland baseball team, I sat up there and sat through the first no at Jacobs Field of all time against the Anaheim Angels. So I've not been to a day game since because that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, I can understand that. I could not get over the number of St. Louis fans that were here at the game. And I don't think they live here. I don't think we have a big pocket of St. Louis fans. But I also didn't think that was a city that traveled to places like Cleveland to go to baseball games. It was easily half the stadium were St. Louis fans.
Oh, really?
And it was hard to tell because they're like the same colors we are, sort of, kind of. They got that red going on.
Yeah.
So until they did something good, and then all these giant, from home plate all the way to first base, lower level, they were all cheering every time St. Louis did something good. I was like, who gave their season tickets to the enemy? I don't understand a lot of that kind of business. I've never seen that many visitors. Usually we get it for Detroit or Chicago, or even when those damn Yankees come to town, there are all those closet Yankee fans that live here that I got to deal with. But I've never seen that many St. Louis fans here before. It was very weird. We'll have to ask Natalie if she's able to join us, if she's seen them, that many fans from someplace like that before.
I would like to think, Cleveland, Kate, that Cleveland is a tourist destination and it's really cheap to come here and visit here. And that is why you had so many people from Missouri, because isn't it only like an 8-hour drive?
See, you use words like only an 8-hour drive in the same sentence. I do. If it's over 4, I'm lying.
If you ain't doing it by yourself with people, if you got people going with you, I could do an 8-hour drive.
We think Cleveland is a destination city because we live here and we love it here. But I imagine places like LA or San Antonio or Miami or places where there's other more popular, more socially acceptable things to do. Like, people don't think of Cleveland. People outside of Cleveland don't think of Cleveland as a place to go and do stuff.
We just came off the draft, though. There was a ton of people here from all over the country here for the draft. So maybe we still riding that wave a little bit. But think about all the fans from Boston and Chicago and New York who come to games here because it's relatively cheap. So I like to think that this is, people love Cleveland and it's America's hidden secret. And that's why you had so many fans coming from St. Louis. I'm not keen on the other, people showing up in my stadium, but knowing that we're not filling up our stadium from them people, we split.
All Sports All Plays checking in the comments says that St. Louis to Cleveland is an 8-hour, 23-minute drive on I-70. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
I would get that if you were coming to see the Browns play because they're good, and who wouldn't want to watch my Browns play? I don't know that I'd want to drive that to watch my baseball team beat the crap out of somebody else, although they really didn't. We gave them a run for their money this week.
Yeah, baseball people are crazy, though, and it's hard to, explain.
I'm glad you said that because you're the baseball person in this little duet. I know football people be crazy, so I wasn't sure if you would be willing to admit that.
Yeah. Baseball players are a different type of people, and they love structure and sync and, things like that. And I'm kind of like that as well.
Well,
So
you're more superstitious than any other athletes and
me,
sports fan
yeah,
I knew.
I'm not a superstitious person
I got
though.
to wear my sock. I got to wear my bloody sock and my, I go
Yeah,
up to bat and I got to do my 8,000 things that I do every
Kurt
time. That one
Schilling.
time I hit a home run, I got to do that every time I go up to bat. We don't do that in football.
Kurt Schilling with the bloody sock, but
Yeah.
Trevor Bauer. Just think about Trevor Bauer with the bloody finger, 10 stitches. And I was watching some of the highlights because I'm a dork. I was watching some of the highlights from 2016, the World Series run. So I watched, it was like 5-minute games of the, ALCS, ALDS, and then when we got to the World Series, of course I didn't watch the games that we lost. I watched the games that we won because the series started out really, really great, and then it went really, really awry for us. But yeah, so in the ALDS, where Trevor Bauer's finger is just leaking, it was just gross.
Yeah, I can't watch highlights, or as I prefer to call them, low lights of any of those series against the Yankees back then, because it just wasn't good. It just wasn't good.
Woo! The Cleveland baseball team is now up on Toronto Blue Jays 5-2 in the top of the 10th inning. So that is good. That would be a great win. So if we got a win, that put us one game above 500. We're 500 right now, and the Blue Jays are 54-48. And when they came to town last time, they kind of took us to the woodshed, took us out back. But Eli Morgan has had a great pitching day. He went almost 6 innings and really only gave up 2 hits. He gave up 4 hits, but he gave up.
But when were they here last? Like, wasn't that right after all of our pitchers just all went down? We had nothing going on at that time. That was, I think, the thing that's bothered me the last few days is even with trading Hernandez and the stuff that's been going on and Tito stepping down, Shaw is killing me, Rachel. He's killing me. He almost blew. We were up 12-8 and ended up winning 12-11. Like we had a 4-run lead going into that. I don't know what's going on with this kid. And there's another question for Natalie. He's either got it or he doesn't. And lately, as soon as he comes up to bat, I got to go get a drink and some Pepto and a couple Tums, and I got to brace myself because I don't know what I'm going to get from him.
Yeah, it is scary. Karen Check, when they was talking about that since they outlawed the sticky stuff, that his spin rate has went down and he's been struggling with his fastball.
It's always been outlawed. They just said they were going to start checking for it. And now all of a sudden, spin rate's gone way down. And it's not just for our team. It's for a whole lot of teams.
Yeah.
Pitching has been very interesting the last 3-4 weeks.
But remember, he was dealing. And now all of a sudden he's not dealing anymore. He's struggling. So I think it can be safe to say that he was using the sticky stuff, which is
allegedly.
Yeah, because I was like, I forgot about this stuff now.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Rumor has it, unconfirmed.
Yeah. Well, this one might be confirmed because there's numbers, and the analytics and numbers doesn't lie. So he is out there using the sticky stuff. I don't know what he's using, but things have came down. He struggled a lot, but he's still done great at times. For me, it's Emmanuel Clase is the one that I struggle with. Brian Shaw, he's okay, but it seems like it's coming down for me to Karen Check and Emmanuel Clase, whether or not games are won or lost. And with Emmanuel Clase, those are where games are lost because he just recently, was it Friday night that he was out on the mound? Because see, Friday night, and I'm like, I want to take a break in a second, and we can get to that series when we come back. But and we'll also address the pitching change that we had too. But the whole pitching staff is shaky, from your openers to your bullpen to your closers. The whole staff is shaky.
But I'm trying really hard to care right now because apparently the Dolans don't care and the Cleveland baseball team doesn't care because they're clearly they sold off, a ton of stuff. And for Tito to step down just told me they were giving up on the season. So I'm not sure if I need to get my panties all up in a bunch about whether or not we're going to make a run because we're clearly not going to make a run. So I'm just going to sit back and enjoy some baseball and hope I get to see something good, whether it's from my team or someone else's. For another, let's see, what's today? Monday. For another 6 days until I get football back on Sundays. That was, did you know that yesterday was our last Sunday without football until we were in the Super Bowl in February?
Last Sunday without Super Bowl?
Without football. There'll be some kind of football for the rest of the year.
Preseason. When do preseason games start?
So this weekend is the Hall of Fame game.
Are you covering that this weekend?
No.
Okay. Is anybody covering that this weekend?
I don't know. There's all kinds of media hoops to go through. And I was like, you know what? I don't need to drive myself an hour and a half down to Canton every day for this kind of stress. I'll just stay home.
And you probably won't have access to the players.
No, but we are hitting Joe's birthday's next Monday, so I got him tickets to go see the concert that they do. They do that concert for legends every year. And this
okay.
with, Brad Paisley and Leonard Skinner.
Okay. Oh, but what happened? One of the guys in Leonard Skinner died.
Yeah, but they're replaceable.
Oh no, I was thinking ZZ Top. My bad.
Oh yeah, no. They're not replaceable, but the show must go on, right? So when something happens, we mourn, we deal what we do, we go. So we'll go. So it'll be fine.
Do you know how dumb I just sounded saying that? I thought somebody died. We're like almost the whole band
now
died.
It's an internet rumor, and somebody who's listening is going to put it out on Twitter, and then it'll be a whole thing.
But I really meant ZZ Top. But did I ever tell you that I didn't know Leonard Skinner was a band and I thought it was a person? Because one day I was like, what does Leonard Skinner look like? I don't think I've ever seen a picture of him. So I Googled it and I was like, it's a band? So I go on Facebook and I asked, was I supposed to know that Leonard Skinner was a band? And people was like, you went to Shaker Heights, you're supposed to know this. I'm like, but you know, I mean, I thought it was a band.
Okay, you need to take a break and then we can get back and you need to explain to me what Shaker Heights has to do with Leonard Skinner. Because I do not tend to think of people from Shaker Heights as being into Southern rock.
Yeah, there's we'll be right back.
On the east side. Not gonna lie. I feel like they're a little too bougie for Leonard.
We'll be right back. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
It's time to rejuvenate, recreate, and relax with Queen Mother Eleni of Paradise Horizons, the community system of self-improvement.
Greetings, family. Queen Eleni here, and it's time to let go and relax as we offer this rejuvenating stress release program.
Life is getting back on track, and you can too. If you or your family have experienced financial hardship as a result of COVID-19, Tri-C can help with tuition assistance. Safely get the in-demand degree or training you need with online and on-campus classes. Go to tri-c.edu to check out our programs and resources. So, what are you waiting for? Register now for fall classes. Tri-C is where futures begin.
This message is brought to you by Tri-C and WOVU 95.9 FM, Our Voices United, a Burton Bell Carr community radio station.
Stop what you're doing.
Thinking about where to enroll in school this fall? With the CMSD Learning Experience, you'll get more. The Cleveland Metropolitan School District is offering new programs live and in person, and it all starts on August 23rd. Student health services, free. 2 meals per day, transportation and internet access, free. Each student gets issued the right laptop, tablet, and technology, plus amazing activities for the whole family, also free. Enroll at CMSD and get more. Sign up at choosecmsd.org.
This message is brought to you by Cleveland Metropolitan School District and WOVU 95.9 FM, Our Voices United, a Burton Bell Carr community radio station.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports.
I really wish everybody could see how me and Cleveland Kate get down. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, and I'm here with my girl, Cleveland Kate, up in the house. So, Cleveland Kate, so last week after we did our show, we got a chance to go and dine together and catch up because COVID has kept us apart from each other.
Yeah.
So, we, got some good quality girl time in. So, Cleveland Kate, why was I at the same restaurant on Friday night, one seat away from where I sat at on Monday night?
That's not the important question. The important question is why you didn't call me to join you for we were just at on Monday.
I know.
I'm sitting outside trying to enjoy the sun. I tried to put the umbrella up on my porch, but the sun is still. I'm sorry about the picture quality, y'all. And how come Sugar Booger don't say my name when he does the intro? He and I are gonna have words.
I don't know. You know what? I can ask him to record another one.
You better. Okay. So why were you back there on Friday?
So me and my girls, we were celebrating the birthday of one of our best friends. So we've been friends since we were like in elementary school. So she was out of town during her birthday. So we were celebrating. Huh?
And you didn't invite me.
I'm sorry, we didn't invite anybody outside our crew.
Is it because I'm white?
No, I love you.
Want to hang out with me and with your other friends?
I love you, but I told them about you, and I was like, I was just here with another one of my friends the other day, and one of my friends had the ahi tuna dish that we had as well.
Did you get it?
No, I did not. She got it, but I ended up getting the shrimp scampi pasta. And my friend got a Pizookie, but we did go to Bottle and Bottega, so that's why we were out there.
Why are we talking about food when we should be talking about football?
We're about to get back to that, but we did not. They did not have the type of model we was talking about out there that night. So we did a great picture of a tree in like 4 quadrants, and it turned out pretty good. So I'm gonna hang it up in my house. But during early segment, before we move to football and basketball, we gotta talk about our draft pick. You asked me about how I felt about the DeMarlo Hale being chosen over Sandy Alomar, and I just look at it kind of like, meh, I'm happy that a minority was chosen, but DeMarlo Hale, he's the 3rd Black manager in baseball. And for a sport that's struggling mightily with diversity, you have only 80 players out of almost 350 active players. I think it's great. There's still a long way to go. It's just interim because we don't know what we're looking at next year. I don't think Terry's going to be back. But didn't I talk about this at the end of last year?
Yeah.
Wasn't I saying the same thing?
Yeah.
I thought it was done.
Yeah, I don't think they're at all concerned with diversity when it comes to African-American players because they have so many Latino and Hispanic players that they feel like that covers their bases. Mm-hmm. But from a manager standpoint and ownership standpoint, their diversity record sucks.
Mm-hmm. It's terrible.
I mean, I will say this, though, about Major League Baseball. At least they're trying. They pulled the All-Star game from where was it? Charlotte, Atlanta? Atlanta, moved it to Denver. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, at least they're trying to do some things. I really wanted it to be Sandy, but at the same time, I feel like that's a double-edged sword because the more other teams get to see how good Sandy is, the bigger the chances that they're going to give him an opportunity to do that, and he's going to leave. And I don't want him to leave. I'm really hoping that when Tito hangs up his cleats and takes the, and heads off into retirement, that Sandy's going to be the next manager of the Cleveland baseball team.
Yeah, and who knows, DeMarlo, this might be an audition for him to go be with another team as a manager because I think that they're both ready. I think this is an opportunity that they've both been wanting. Sandy got a chance last year where Tito was out, so maybe it's a round robin, rotation. But honestly, I'm glad a minority was chosen. Because,
I am too. But this is his first year with the Cleveland team, right? Like he's only been there this year, but I know he's been like Terry's right-hand man.
Oh yeah, he's a baseball lifer.
So
and they were together in Boston when they won a title together in 2007. Right. So
but he got here this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, DeMarlo is very respected around the league because I actually did a video about it for MLBBro.com. The story actually fell in my lap, about him and who he was. He went to HBCU, Grambling, 60 years old. And, he was minor league manager of the year in 1995. So, he's very well respected. He has a lot of accolades, World Series titles. So, sometimes this is just about people being given opportunity. And I'm hoping that, because I was a Sandy guy too. I didn't even know DeMarlo was a coach, because you ain't paying attention to coaches all like that. Yeah. I didn't even know he was a coach. I'm like, DeMarlo Hale, who is that? And that weekend in which Tito went out for his wedding, I was not, I don't think I saw the games that weekend because remember, he did it earlier this season. So he got an opportunity and I think he split. So right now they're at the bottom of the 10th. The Indians are still winning 5-2, but I just want.
Who's pitching?
I don't know who's on the mound right now. Somebody on the bullpen. I just have the score up.
Yeah, if I try to go look, because I don't have my laptop out here. If I try to go look, it'll disconnect me again. Okay. I need a new phone.
Yeah, I don't know who's on the mound right
All
now.
right. Well, then if I don't know that it's Shaw, then I won't be worried about it. We got this. We got this. They'll win while we're on the air. That's cool. I'm good with that.
Yeah, but Kate, I'm just glad that a minority was chosen because it's just, people have to be able to see themselves in positions. And, if he gets an opportunity, maybe somebody else gets an opportunity. If a coach goes down, somebody else is chosen. But Terry Francona, man, he just so broken up. He needs a hip replacement then. He needs a rod put in his foot. He's already had the internal issues with the heart and all that other stuff. And he said everything he does is hard, even when it comes to just getting out of bed and just getting down the ball. So it kind of reminds me of Phil Jackson. When Phil Jackson was like, he knew it was time to hang it up because he could barely walk. And the hardest part wasn't even coaching, it was traveling and just getting to where you needed to go to coach at. He was like, taking pictures is hard. So
I share your sentiment. You and I talk about this, when it comes to other things like women in sports and stuff. It's hard to have that dream of this is what you want to do when you've never seen someone who looks like you doing that job. You don't even know that that's an option for someone who looks like you, whether it's because of what color you are or what gender you are. And we're doing our thing, right? We're finding a way to get ourselves out there, and maybe there'll be some young men who see what DeMarlo's doing and aspire to, be general managers in baseball. And it's good to have more of those faces of quality people out there in those jobs that are absolutely qualified. He's absolutely qualified to take over for Tito and to at some point manage a team on his own. So I think it's a good thing. I just, like I said, a little part of my heart was just kind of hoping it would be Sandy because I've been in love with him since the mid '90s. So but I'm
he was fine, wasn't
my
he?
Sandy baby. That's my
Sandy
baby.
Sandy was fine though. Sandy could totally get it.
He was no Carlos Baerga, or he was no Omar Vizquel, but he was all right.
Oh my God, you said no Carlos Baerga, and it was so funny. It was 2019. I was walking down the hallway in the press box, and all of a sudden Carlos Baerga goes walking past me, and he about this tall.
Oh, I know. But
like literally. He's like pocket size, and he spoke or whatever. He spoke, and I'm like, "Hey, Carlos,
it was
how
easy
you
to
doing?"
see. There were times when he'd be going after somebody at second base, and I'm like, damn, that guy's a head taller.
Yeah, like Jose Altuve, like how short he is.
Yes.
And you ever seen the comparisons to him and Aaron Judge? Is like ridiculous. It looked like that was his kid. I just missed it. Can you put that back up? I just missed what came across on StreamYard. Or did you see it?
I'll look.
5-2. So the Indians are winning today. Excuse me, not the Indians, but the Cleveland baseball team. Cleveland baseball team is a 5-2 winner over the Blue Jays in 10 innings. So, that was something. So one game above 500. We was at 51-51. So Cleveland baseball team is a winner today, 5-2. And you never know. We don't know what'll happen, with this managerial thing. Maybe they might bring somebody else in. And then I think that Terry Francona has to be gone first. And you look at the timing of him doing all this stuff, stopping in the middle of the season in order to get prepped, get through the winter time and all that other stuff. He could be attempting to come back. I think it's in the best that he doesn't. And maybe he's in a consultant role because he talks about how much he loves Cleveland. He also played here as a player too. So,
I thought he was going to take it off after the All-Star break. You could tell watching him walk around and stuff, especially in the field house and everything that, in places you and I get to go see. I was just like, oh, dude's got something going on. I thought the All-Star break is when he would do it. And I think he just tried to muscle through it. And then, once you had enough injuries happen that it's like, listen, DeMarlo can handle this for the rest of the year. I need to go, you get to where you're not hurt, you're injured, right? We talk about that with players. Are you doing more harm to the team than good if you can't give them 100% of yourself mentally because you've got like your little buffer going on to protect yourself from all the pain that you're in and all the other stuff that you got to go through, that maybe it's best for the team if you're not the one leading them and you let someone else who can be 100% dedicated to them. So we'll see what the rest of the season brings, but we're back at 500. So that's always a good thing, right?
Yeah, because I wonder, does he drive his scooter home or does he actually take a car?
I don't think he's on that scooter no more. I hope not.
Because he's that broken up.
Because, that's no bueno.
Yeah, but I just hope that whatever, happens at the end of the season when it comes to opportunities, Sandy and also DeMarlo have an opportunity, whether it be with this organization or another, because you also think about the average age of these managers. Sandy is only 55, I think, and DeMarlo is 60. Terry Francona is only 62, and Terry's very broken up to be 62. But, he did play in the major leagues. DeMarlo never made it out of the minors or what have you. But, Terry Francona has a lot of wear and tear on that body. So we'll see. But we're going to go ahead and.
I would just like to thank you for saying that Sandy is only 55, because I happen to be only 55 myself. So thank you for not making it sound like those of us who are in our 50s are over the hill.
Yeah, that's young, though. That's young.
I'm going to pretend I am until somebody tells me I'm not.
Well, the way you was getting it today, nobody could tell how old you were.
All right, we're going to take a break, and then you're going to play some music, and we'll dance some more when we come back.
All right. Well, this is Her in the Huddle, WOVU 95.9 FM.
About where to enroll in school this fall? With the CMSD Learning Experience, you'll get more. The Cleveland Metropolitan School District is offering new programs live and in person, and it all starts on August 23rd. Student health services, free. 2 meals per day, transportation and internet access, free. Each student gets issued the right laptop, tablet, and technology, plus amazing activities for the whole family, also free. Enroll at CMSD and get more. Sign up at choosecmsd.org.
This message is brought to you by Cleveland Metropolitan School District and WOVU 95.9 FM, Our Voices United, a Burton Bell Carr community radio station. Are you a small business owner looking to grow? Take a leap into Jumpstart's Small Business Impact Program, a free 12-week seminar where you'll learn alongside other entrepreneurs just like you in a supportive team atmosphere with coaching from mentors who've been there and done all that in your industry. At the end, you'll have the opportunity to pitch your business for a chance to win up to $10,000. So what are you waiting for? Take the plunge into success and apply for Jumpstart's free small business impact program. To learn more, visit jumpstartinc.org/WOVU. That's jumpstartinc.org/WOVU. This message is brought to you by Jumpstart and WOVU 95.9 FM, Our Voices United. Jump for my love. Jump in.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports.
All right. Welcome back to Her in the Huddle, WOVU 95. Kate, I love you. If you don't know how much I do, I really do love you. You listening to Her in the Huddle, man. We have a good time when we get it in over here. Cleveland Kate is dance. I wish all y'all could see those watching out in StreamYard World. She getting it. George Bendicky just texted me and gave me an update because I don't have a TV in the station, and that is okay. That's what we got internet and computers for. But right now, news just broke that the Cleveland Cavaliers just retained Jared Allen, 5 years, $100 million contract. So that just came out. Thank you, George. Kate, and then also with the drafting of Evan Mobley, who was supposed to be one of the people who was a can't miss out of that top three, with Cade Cunningham, Jared Suggs, and Evan Mobley, and he fell to the Cleveland Cavaliers at 3, and other teams wanted to go after him, but Cleveland Cavaliers, I guess, didn't field any offers that was good enough to, be willing to lose that position with also no other draft picks. What are your thoughts about the drafting of Evan Mobley and the re-signing of Jared Allen with this young nucleus and core that the Cavs have?
All right, so here's where you and I go around. I love the fact that Evan Mobley fell to them at 3. He fills exactly a need that they have, but I'm being cautious because I was super excited when we drafted Colin Sexton, and that didn't work out very well. So we'll see how he transitions into the NBA. My concern now is the same one that I had a year ago, which is we've got this young nucleus of players, and I still don't know that I trust JB Bickerstaff to coach them up the way they need to be. I saw too much stuff going on last year that they were doing wrong in the first game, that they were doing wrong in the 80th game, and it didn't get better, and there wasn't any improvements in a lot of areas that I consider to be basketball fundamentals. There are things that your coaches need to be doing to get you up and ready and going and get things fixed. And I didn't feel that this year. And I'm going to give him a break and say we had COVID and things weren't quite right. Even last season and then into this season, things still weren't quite normal. And we'll wait and see what goes on this year. But I feel like this is my last year before I'm going to be one of those people screaming for a head coaching change.
You think so? You don't think giving them time and these young boys that they have and the veterans that really aren't that good?
Right? Like, I thought Kevin Love was going to be here and he would mentor them and he would help them. And we all saw how that worked out. Well, you won that argument because you were right and I was wrong on Kevin Love. But we ain't got Deli. We ain't got anyone in the locker room with any real experience to kind of help guide these young men. And so it's up to your coaching staff. And I'm not feeling it. And I'm not there, right? So maybe it's not, maybe it is, maybe there's more of an effect to what went on in 19 or in 20 and 20 season and then the 21 season with COVID and the limitations and the restrictions and the rules and all that kind of stuff that has played into this. I know the last couple NCAA seasons haven't been quite right. So maybe these kids are going to take another year or two to develop compared to kids coming right out of college maybe 5 years ago because they had more of a season with tournaments and everything else like that. So I'm on the fence about it, but I'm struggling with feeling like the coaches are having an effect. And maybe I'm just not seeing it. And maybe I just need to give them another year. And I'm willing to concede. Basketball is my number 3 sport, right? It's football, baseball, then basketball. So I'm willing to concede that I don't know everything there is to know about basketball. I'm just saying from where I sit, I haven't been happy with the coaching.
Which number did you say basketball was for you?
3.
Really? You baseball number 2?
Well, hockey's probably, so it's football, it's probably hockey. And then boxing. And then archery is my new favorite thing because I've been watching Olympic archery and I could do that at my age. Like I could learn to be an archery person. I could do that.
But wait, did you hear how hard it?
When you watch the Olympics, do you watch sports and decide, hey, I could do that?
When I saw the triathlon, I don't know if I told you, but I was like, okay, my gym has a pool. They have a track, and all I need is a bicycle, so I can do like mini triathlon.
Okay, you go, girl.
I'm not going to be swimming and running and doing everything as long as them.
Throw cold water bottles of water at you when you go running by on that leg of it.
They're a little crazy. I'd have to modify that to like a 1 mile swim, maybe like a 3 to 5 mile run, and I could do about 5 miles on the bike. So I got to modify that triathlon. Right. It's going to be a football.
So my football.
Okay.
We'll just lump all the football in together. And professional football, college football, which is semi-league, pro, professional football, hockey, basketball, baseball. If I got to pick out of the big 4, that would be where I'm at on my big 4.
Okay. All right.
I've obviously never played organized basketball at any level, even as a girl. So I don't know what goes into the locker room stuff, the coaching stuff, the practice stuff. So there could be things that are outside of the coach's control. It could be something with these young players that they need to unlearn behaviors from their college days and they got to relearn how to do that in the pros. I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. But I also think looking at Golden State and some of these other teams and Miami and that teams that have been at the top and that slipped and that probably we're going to be right back up at the top again in the coming year. I feel like the Cavs need to do something because we were there with LeBron and we slid down, but we need to be able to start doing better.
So I'm looking at our roster, right?
It needs to at least be entertaining, Rachel. I don't want to flip on the Cavs game and watch for 30 seconds and then go, God, this is too painful. I can't even watch this and then go let my husband talk me into watching Gold Rush or Iron Graveyard or Streetcar Outlaws or whatever he makes me watch if I don't have a sports event on. I can't watch painful basketball.
Cleveland Kate, I can tell you right now, next season is going to be painful as well. There might be a little bit improvement over games won, but your veteran on the team is Kevin Love, and he's not a leader at all. So
he's not healthy, and he's not a leader. So, I mean, I'm not sure if he'll even still be here.
Hopefully not. I think they're trying to trade him as well. Matthew Dellavedova has been in the league 8 years, but he is not he's just a serviceable guy. Cedi Osman has been in the league for 4 years. And Larry Nance.
I love Cedi. What happened to Cedi?
He's not good. Larry Nance Jr., 6 years of experience. And to me, that's your de facto leader because everybody outside of that has 4 years or less experience being in the pros.
He was in LA before he came here, right?
Who? Yeah. Mm-hmm. He played with Kobe.
That was before they got good. So I don't know that he's got, playoff or experience. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. You're telling me it's going to be another painful year. All right.
Yeah, I'm talking about leadership capability.
I love Mobley. If I had to have my pick of who we were going to get at 3, he's who I was hoping would fall to us because I do think he checks all the boxes. He fills the needs that we have on this team. So, I mean, they got the right guy. Now it's just a matter of, what can they do with them and what can they put around him?
Well, how is him and Jared Allen going to work?
I don't know.
I'm curious because I'm just looking. You got 2 7-footers in the low block. I mean, who are you going to play them together? Because where's your power forward, your small forward, and your guards? And what are they going to do?
One of them's probably going to drift to the 3, the power forward position. So you've got options to pass in the lane. You've got options to go to the post because when you're that tall and when you've got 2 bigs like that, you have a lot of things that it opens up for you that changes the game a little bit. And then there aren't a lot of teams that are able to do that. So if they can design plays around that without them, the problem is going to be if their shots are in the same sweet spot, right? If they both prefer, to dribble drive the lane and take it to the hoop, or if they like the post or wherever they like to be, if their favorite shots are not in the same geographical space on the court, then you've got a better chance of designing some plays and you can have them both out there at the same time. And that could be something that's difficult to defend because not a lot of teams see that.
Yeah, I'm thinking that if anything, it's going to be Jared Allen who they'll move the power forward position because he's about 250 pounds. Evan Mobley is 215, so who's to say he's really 215?
He's a little skinny, but
he's a rail.
He's what, 21, 20? He's young. He's
born in 2001. Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't. We know that men don't reach physical muscular maturity till they're like 22, 23. We've seen a lot of these kids come out in the league and then you look at them 2 years later and it's like, wow, he bulked up. But that's just part of, being a dude and getting older and going through that process. So he may put on a little bit. I'd like to see him stay on the lean side because I think he's quicker. I think he's quicker than Jared is. So I don't have a problem with Jared maintaining his frame, maybe bulking up maybe going to 230 and playing that kind of a role and keep Evan more on the, I don't want to say he's wiry, but he's 7 feet tall. So you can be over 200 pounds a day and still be quick because his quickness is what's going to be difficult for the defenses because they're not used to someone that tall being that quick and that good with his hands the way he is. So I don't know. We'll see. It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, he's going to gain some weight for a little while. So you already know because in the NBA, he's only going to be able to take so much of a pounding before it really wears on him. So he'll gain some weight, gain some muscle, and hopefully.
Well, LeBron learned that, right? You look at pictures of him his rookie year.
Oh yeah, my God, yeah.
Later, dude clearly understood the need to put muscle on in the right places in the right way to make his presence felt on the court and to stop getting pushed around. So
look at Giannis Antetokounmpo. Like, look at his body and now what he looks at now. So, he'll be fine, but it's going to be a long season and there's a bunch of young guys and a lot of people like this core nucleus and it's going to be interesting to see how they can grow together. How many wins it's going to translate to is negligible. But, they're starting out right. But so your problems with JB Bickerstaff are probably going to persist because this team is so young. So we just going to have to get through it together, Cleveland Kate. We're going to take a
Hey, did you watch any Team USA basketball?
No, because they're trash.
I thought it was just me. The women are doing well. The guys, I'm just like, I can't watch. It's almost like watching it was painful. Some of those games were painful.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's go to take a break.
Yeah. All right. We'll be right back. This is Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
All parents and guardians, WOVU and 100 Black Men of Greater Cleveland invites you to enroll your promising young African American men in the 2021 Summer Mentoring Program. Mile the Child. Sign up today for an opportunity to get exercise, fresh air, and get in tune with nature, all while learning and discussing a topic of importance. Snacks, drinks, and personal protective equipment are included, and there will be social distancing with small groups of 10. Register online at 100blackmencle.org. That is 100blackmencle.org to register your young African American men between ages 8 and 17 for the following Saturday walk dates: August 14th at Garfield Park, August 28th at Cleveland Lakefront Natural Preserve, September 11th at Edgewater Park, and September 25th at Forest Hills Park. Volunteers are welcome. For more information, call 216-361-9146, 216-361-9146, or send an email to info@100blackmencle.org. That is info@100blackmencle.org. Walk a mile with a child at the 2021 Summer Mentoring Program, brought to you by 100 Black Men of Greater Cleveland and WOVU 95.9 FM. Our Voices United, a Burton Bell Carr community radio station.
Stop what you're doing. It's time to rejuvenate, recreate, and relax with Queen Mother Eleni of Paradise Horizons, the community system of self-improvement.
You're listening to the sounds of DJ Chris Styles.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle, WOVU and 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports, and I am here with Cleveland Kate. Make sure you download that WOVU app so you can take us on the go. If you can always give us a call at 216-271-0959. And always just go to WOVU.org to listen to us on the World Wide Web, wherever you are at. So, Cleveland Kate, I guess it's about time to give into your desires and talk some football. It's first
I gotta say, as like a PSA for our audience, if they listen to the commercials in between the last segment, it talked about signing up for this the mentoring program for the 100 Black Men. And I would just like to reassure people, this is not a secret dating app for Rachel to find men to go out with. This is a legit thing. It is actually a cool thing. It's very important. Don't hesitate to sign up because you think Rachel's going to be although maybe we should turn it into that.
Check
but
my profile now.
It's an amazing opportunity for some of the young men in our community to hook up with some mentors, and I just think it's awesome that this is happening. I may actually go, but it's not a dating app for Rachel. I thought it was when I first heard it, and then I figured out it wasn't. So I thought I would mention that.
Let me check this profile. Right see how many likes I got. See if anybody slid in my DM. DMs are open to be slid into. Are
your DMs open? Mine are not. Don't slide in my DMs. My husband likes to check my DMs. He's not a fan of that. It's just
he does.
Yeah, it's just I don't care. There's nothing going on in there.
But you, Cleveland Kate, you never know. You got to be worried about who trying to get on with you.
Never. Nobody does. It's legit. I'm glad, but then at the same time, I'm like, what's wrong with me? Why you don't want it? Never mind.
I was about to say, okay, Aisha Curry. You remember when she was like, I just want to be attracted to. I want people to be attracted to me. Like, I can't stand Steph, but Steph is not like ugly. I mean, money makes him look much better. And Joe is, a handsome guy. Y'all fine. Like, get it together. Leave some out for us single women, okay? Like, let us have our moment, please.
Bro, you're killing me. All right, Browns are in training camp.
Woohoo!
Baker looks good. Landry looks good. Odell looks good. Odell's scaring me a little bit because apparently he got some teeth work done and he's got some diamond things encrusted in his teeth. And I'm concerned that apparently the NFL is probably going to make a new rule that those are against the uniform code just so they can fine him for his shoes and his socks and his pants and his teeth this year. They'll come up with something. I think from the offensive side of the ball, we got Nick Chubb signed to that extension, which is huge. I don't care if, people want to criticize it and say you don't pay a running back that much and all that kind of stuff. What they did by locking him in for 3 years is what they needed to do, because you've still got Kareem Hunt. Kareem's got some loyalty to us, right? We gave him an opportunity when Kansas City dropped him. And as long as you have both of them running well and healthy, you will keep them healthy because you're not going to overload him with 25 to 30 carries a game. He can get by with 14 to 17 and be incredibly productive. You've got that dual weapon, so you can go to either one of them. You can pass to them, either in the backfield, the bubble screens, or you can let them go. And you've got your receiver. So I'm not worried at all about the offense. Locking down Nick just makes me a happy girl because it's one less thing I have to worry about this year. I'm still having some concerns about my defense. I'm having some concerns about my corners. Greedy ain't healthy. Denzel was healthy and then not healthy and healthy and then not healthy. And so he seems okay right now. But from what I heard from training camp, he's not standing out. So I don't know what's going on with him. I expected more from my Buckeye brother than I've gotten so far. And maybe I just expected too much, but I'm a little worried about my corners. Not going to lie. Other than that, it's only been a few episodes of camp, so to speak. They've only had a few days and we've only been able to see limited amounts of what's going on, but so far so good. So far, nothing's really concerning me to the point where I'm going to be sad that I bought tickets when I was in Vegas in May for them to win the Super Bowl, because I put money on that. So that's for my island that I'm going to buy, Rachel. You and I can go live on our island together and we can run all the sports on the island when we win. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm feeling really good right now. I've been keeping an eye on what's going on in Pittsburgh and in Baltimore and Cincinnati. Joe Burrow looks good, looks healthy, but again, nothing those three teams going to throw at me this year concerns me at all. We're hitting 13 games, period. We may get 14. I'm going to let you have that 14th one because you think we are, but we're absolutely getting 13. We're winning the AFC North, and then it's just going to be, the shootout of the playoffs. It's going to be the Browns, the Buffalo Bills, and Kansas City from where I'm sitting are going to be the top three teams in the AFC, and who's going to come out on top. We'll see. I think last year's loss to Cincinnati taught them a lot, or to Kansas City, taught them a lot, taught the coaches a lot, gave them a lot of film, a lot of things to look at, a lot of reasons to be better this year. So my evil plan to dominate the NFL is working.
Well, let me ask you about this, Kay, because I'm extremely confident. I'm at 14-3. You're at 13-4. I'm at 14-3. The only team that I foresee us giving problems, that is giving us problems, is the Baltimore Ravens. This team has not figured out a way to stop Lamar Jackson. They figured out a way to stop other aspects of that Baltimore Ravens offense, but this team has not been able to stop Lamar Jackson because they struggled against the run, and he is a running quarterback. So those are my concerns more than anything. And I think the only team that can stop us from winning that division is Baltimore. And they get up for us, and they always have a great game against us. And that's my concern.
Who was the free agent edge rusher that we signed in the offseason?
I don't know. We signed a whole bunch of people.
Jadeveon Clowney?
Yeah.
Yeah. What does he do? He gets after the quarterback and he stops the run. Okay. And he stops the run. If he's willing to if they can line him up with Miles, right? You let Miles go after the quarterback, chase him and corral him over to JD's side of the line, Lamar ain't getting nothing. And frankly, I'm not worried about Lamar. Lamar can get his and he can have his, because I will put this offense up against any other offense in the NFL if it's going to be a shootout.
But he's not that terrible of a passer, too. You got to be able to stop him passing.
His passing never hurt us because his receivers are trash.
It did in that week 14.
Hurt us. It was when he'd rip off them 15 and 20-yard runs on 3rd and 3 that used to make me want to pull my hair out. You know what I mean? If you can keep him in the box and force him to pass, then you can do what you need to do on the defense. But if it ends up being that he's just going to keep scoring, then we can also keep scoring. We have an offense for the first time in years. We saw a little bit of it last year. We're going to see a lot of it this year if Odell stays healthy, where I will put my offense up against anybody's. And we can win a shootout now. I was worried about that last year. I'm not worried about that this year.
Well, we came
That's
very,
why
very
Baltimore
close
don't scare me.
to winning that shootout week 14 Monday Night Football. It was just we needed one more possession, and Baltimore had the better field goal kicker because we missed a field goal as well. So special teams. What are special teams looking like? What are your thoughts about special teams?
Oh, Jamie good. Scott Shammer's back. He's looking good. He didn't cut his hair in the offseason. I was worried about that. I felt like his mojo was going on. I think he's one of those players who, football was a relatively new game for him, all things considered, when he came in. And I thought he's done a really nice job the last 2 years. So I'm excited to see what happens with him this year. I think we're bringing the system back. We're not starting with a new head coach. We're not installing a new offense. We're not changing up the special teams or anything like that. We're bringing everybody back. We're adding some things, but it's the same core. And that's huge for this team to be able to bring all that back. And it helps their learning curve to flatten out for them. So they only have to learn a few things this year and then reinforce all the stuff that they did right last year. I think they're going to be fine. I am entirely too optimistic about it. And I am going to be crushed if bad things happen and people get hurt. But I have no problem today, right now, being super excited. Jamie be fine. I'm not worried about my kicking game. I may pick him up in fantasy football. I almost bought a number 7 Gillen jersey, except that John Elway wore number 7, and anything with the number 7 on it makes my stomach hurt, so I can't do it.
You can't do it, Kate. I still hate John Elway. You can't wear number 7 in anything.
Can't do it.
Number 7 can't be your favorite. You should try to avoid number 7 at all times.
I know, right? And my girlfriends dared me to buy a kicker's jersey. And I'm like, well, if I was going to buy one, they got one job, right? If I was going to buy one, it would be the Scottish Hammer. But now I'm like, but they got to change his number. I may have to write a letter. Write D. Haslam a letter. She takes my letters. You got to give Jamie a different number. I can't buy that jersey. Can't nobody in Cleveland buy that jersey. We don't like that number.
Who's our field goal kicker again?
Jamie Gillen.
No, that's our punter.
Oh, I don't know who's going to be kicking field goals this year.
That's my concern. I'm good with Jamie Gillen. Hopefully he won't be utilized that much.
Well, he can kick some field goals. He'll be fine.
He can?
He's been learning. He's been practicing.
Well, we might need him because our kicking game is...
Well, he won't be punting very much. We saw that last year. If this offense does what it's supposed to do, he shouldn't punt more than 3 times a game. We should be able to score on every possession. Now people are going to wonder what was in my water and if I threw a little vodka or something in there. I have not been drinking. This is just how insanely optimistic I am today.
Well, you're not alone. A lot of us are optimistic, and I feel the same way as you. Like I said, I'm even more because I have us winning 14 games, which is, that's a lot of games. That's a lot of games. But I totally see us being able to do it. We took 2 days and we did the schedule game and we broke down rosters and everything. And I feel confident doing that where my prediction stands. I still feel confident.
I had one game that's a toss-up. That's why I'm not 13-4. I'm 13-3 for sure. That last game could go either way. So I don't predict losses. I'm predicting at least 13 wins, but we'll see.
Who's our last game against?
It's either Cleveland or Baltimore. It's division. We end the season in the division.
Okay. Because you want to be sitting people. And one of the first times the Cleveland Brown wants to sit people as they enter a playoff run.
But that's a double-edged sword too, because I've seen teams do that. I've suffered with fantasy football teams where quarterbacks were getting sat those last couple weeks because they didn't need to win, and it completely hosed up my fantasy team. And I've seen, the Colts under Peyton Manning and some other teams come into the playoffs after resting people, and they just looked rusty. Like, I think there's a fine line between resting people. You want to rest Nick Chubb? Fine. Then Kareem gets more carries than Chubb, but he still plays in that game. You know what I mean? There's a freshness and a crispness that I think you lose when you sit for a couple weeks, and then you have to go into the playoffs with all the emotion and the hype and the adrenaline, and I don't like it. I don't like sitting, I like play a half. Treat it like preseason week 3. Play the first half and then take the second half off. You get up to a lead and don't get hurt, that kind of stuff. but we'll see. Maybe we will have the luxury to have to worry about sitting people this year. I haven't done that since the 8th, so it'll be a nice problem to have this year.
Yeah, we'll figure that out next week because we are out of time. But yeah, Kevin Stefanski doesn't strike me as the type of person who will sit people, but who knows? Stranger things have happened. But Cleveland Kate, just want to thank you as always for being here with me and delivering an awesome show. And your Twitter, right quick. How can people get at you?
Cleveland Kate, CLVLNDK8. I'm also starting to be more active on Instagram. Same thing, Cleveland Kate on Instagram. So I know Rachel's on Instagram all the time. So now I'm trying to be on Instagram some more and putting up pictures and videos and whatnot. So you can check me out there. All
right. This is it for Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. We are out of here.
Cleveland.
Happy Monday, everybody. It's your man, your best friend.